Before we start, quick pit stop. Please subscribe to the channel, like this episode, and drop your next topic request in the comments. Those 3 tabs help us make more exam-ready content for you. Alright, let's dive in.
Welcome to episode 8 of Case-Based Scenario on Epidemiology and Outbreak Investigation. Today we will go from the first phone call about many boys vomiting to a clean line list, an epidemic curve, and a crisp report. Dr. Joshi, thanks for being here.
Glad to be back. Keep a simple spine in mind. Define the problem, describe it in time, place, person, test a hypothesis, control it, and communicate. We will apply that to food poisoning, fever spikes at a PHC, study designs, and eradication talk.
Scenario 1. An outbreak of food poisoning has occurred in a boys' hostel. The examiner asks you to draw a theoretical epidemic curve for a point source epidemic, mark the median incubation period, and list the investigation steps. How would you go about this?
For a classic point source epidemic, say everyone ate the same contaminated meal, the epidemic curve shows a sudden rise, a single sharp peak, and a gradual fall over one incubation period of the agent. If I were drawing by words, X-axis is time, example hours since the hostel dinner. Y-axis is number of cases. Bars cluster within one incubation window, there is one modal peak. To mark the median incubation period, identify the suspected exposure time, say 8 p.m. dinner, then locate the median case time, the time point by which 50% of cases have occurred, and draw a vertical line. The horizontal distance from the exposure time to that vertical line is the median incubation. Now the steps of investigation, write these exactly as 10 steps. Prepare for fieldwork, permissions, team, supplies, case formats. Establish the existence of an outbreak. Compare observed cases with expected baseline. Verify the diagnosis, clinical picture, and appropriate lab confirmation. Define and identify cases. Create a case definition, person, place, time, clinical or lab, and line list all suspected, probable, confirmed. Describe by time, place, person, epidemic curve, spot map, age, room, meal tables. Develop hypotheses, example fried rice at dinner as the vehicle. Evaluate hypotheses, analytic study often a case control meal analysis with an odds ratio. Refine hypotheses and re-evaluate if findings conflict. Implement control measures as early as possible. Do not wait for final proof. Remove leftover food, save water, isolate kitchen, hand hygiene, specific therapy if indicated. Communicate findings, interim briefing to administrators, and a final written report with recommendations and a follow-up plan. Pause and recall. What is the purpose of the epidemic curve? Answer: to suggest the pattern of spread, point source continuous propagated, estimate incubation, and guide timing of control.
Scenario 2. You are the medical officer at a PHC and spot a sudden spike of fever cases from a particular village. Define cluster, endemic, epidemic, and pandemic with examples, and then list the 10 steps again for this fever situation.
First of all, definitions. A cluster is an aggregation of cases over a particular period and area that seems unusual. Example, 12 fever cases from Ward 4 this week instead of the usual 1 to 2. Endemic is constant presence or usual frequency of a disease in an area. Example, malaria being present year-round in a district at a stable level. Epidemic is occurrence of disease in excess of normal expectancy. Example, dengue surge in September exceeding the 5-year baseline. Pandemic is an epidemic that has spread across countries or continents. Example, coronavirus disease in 2020 to 2022. For your fever spike, run the 10 steps as above, tailored to fever, confirm the increase, verify diagnosis, malaria, dengue, enteric fever testing algorithm, construct a working case definition, fever greater than 38 degrees Celsius with headache in village X since date Y, line list households, construct time, place, person charts, hypothesize, example waterborne versus vector-borne, test with rapid diagnostics and if needed, a small analytic study, institute control, source reduction, chlorination, bed nets, facility triage, and send a crisp daily situation report.
Pause and reflect. In a real PHC, which 3 tools do you start the same day? Answer: line list, spot map, and rapid tests as per local algorithm.
Scenario 3. A researcher plans to select people with lung cancer and without lung cancer and then ask about past smoking. Identify the design and contrast it briefly with the cohort. Explain recall bias in this context.
That is a case control study. Start with outcome, look back for exposure, key contrasts, directionality and sampling. In case control, choose cases, lung cancer, and controls, no lung cancer, ascertain prior smoking, efficient for rare diseases and long latency, quick and relatively inexpensive. In cohort, start with exposed, smokers and unexposed, follow forward to see who develops cancer, measures incidence and relative risk directly, takes more time and cost. Measures of association. For case control, that is odds ratio OR. For cohort, that is risk ratio RR, attributable risk incidence. Bias and temporality. In case control, there is vulnerability to recall bias. Cases may remember or report smoking more meticulously than controls with no disease, inflating the apparent exposure-disease association. To limit this, use objective records where possible, standardized questionnaires, and blinding of interviewers to case control status. Self-check: which design is best for a rare exposure like asbestos? Answer: a cohort, because you can assemble exposed workers and observe outcomes prospectively.
Scenario 4. A global health report discusses eradication. Can measles be eradicated? What are the criteria for eradication and why is smallpox the only one eradicated so far?
The classic eradication criteria you should quote: no non-human reservoir or effective reservoir control, sensitive and specific diagnostics to detect and confirm cases including subclinical where relevant, effective practical intervention, a vaccine or curative measure that interrupts transmission, clear case definition and obvious clinical presentation help, sustained political will and financing with robust surveillance and response. Measles, can it be eradicated? In principle, yes. Measles virus infects humans only. The vaccine is highly effective in infection and vaccination generally gives long-lasting immunity. However, 3 hurdles keep it from global eradication today. First, very high transmissibility. The basic reproduction number R0 is extremely high, so we need about 95% two-dose coverage, uniformly including in hard-to-reach, conflict and migrant populations. Second, programmatic gaps, cold chain issues, vaccine hesitancy and disruptions, emergencies and pandemics create immunity gaps that allow outbreaks. Thirdly, early infectiousness. Patients are infectious before the classic rash, so silent spread occurs unless surveillance is razor sharp. That is why many regions achieve elimination, no endemic transmission, but global eradication has not yet been reached. Smallpox succeeded because the disease ticked every box optimally. Strictly human reservoir, no subclinical carriers, distinctive rash, easy clinical diagnosis, stable, highly effective vaccine with scarification, no syringes needed, lifelong immunity, and a workable ring vaccination strategy with strong surveillance and containment. Its R0 was lower than measles, so achieving herd immunity was easier. In short, smallpox was epidemiologically cooperative, measles is epidemiologically demanding. Pause and evaluate. If an examiner asks for 2 reasons measles is hard, say R0 is very high, requiring 95% two-dose coverage everywhere, and silent transmission before rash makes detection harder.
Could you tie this episode together with a quick case sheet format we can reproduce in exams?
Absolutely. Use this outbreak rapid sheet in your answers. First, alert and verification. Who called, when, suspected agent, verify diagnosis. Then, case definition, person, place, time, clinical or lab criteria, classify suspected, probable or confirmed. Then, line list, name, age, room or house, onset time, symptoms, exposure, like meal item, outcome. Then, descriptive epidemiology, epidemic curve, spot map, attack rates by meal, room, age. Then, hypothesis and test, suspected vehicle, do a quick case control table, compute OR. Then, control measures, remove source, protect susceptibles, environment, food, water actions, clinical care. Then, communicate, daily situation updates, final report with recommendations and a follow-up plan.
Lightning round active recall before we close. 3 questions.
Let's go. Point source epidemic curve hallmarks, sudden rise, single sharp peak, tapering fall within 1 incubation period. Median incubation is the time from exposure to the median case on the x-axis. Case control versus cohort, 1 line each. Case control, start with disease, look back. OR, good for rare diseases. Cohort, start with exposure, look forward, RR, measures incidence, 2 crisp eradication criteria. To quote, no animal reservoir, high-performing vaccine or curative tool, plus diagnostics and political commitment.
Perfect. Today we learned to see a point source curve, recited the 10 steps of an investigation, contrasted case control with cohort and named recall bias, and discussed why measles is hard and smallpox succeeded. Dr. Joshi, thank you for the lucid, exam-ready walkthrough.
My pleasure. Remember the flow for the viva: define, describe, hypothesize, test, control, communicate, and when in doubt, draw the epidemic curve and start your line list. Those two alone can carry half your marks.